Hello again, Chat Show fans. Kevin Pollak here. It's survey time. We need you to take, you can hear me, right? We need you to take a 5-minute survey. We're going to ask you some questions about yourself, what you like to buy, and just so you know, it's completely anonymous. It's very important that you know that it's completely anonymous, and it's important to us as well. Your answers will help us find advertisers that are well matched for you, your interests, and this particular show that you love so damn much. When you're finished, you can enter a monthly drawing to win a $100 Amazon gift card. That ain't bad. Even if you've taken one of our previous surveys, we have to ask if you wouldn't mind to take this one. It's completely revised, and advertisers like it when we have the most up-to-date answers from you. You've asked in the past, how can I help the show, Kev? What can I do to support Kev? A, stop fucking calling me Kev. B, you can take this survey, but you also have a chance to win a $100 gift card. Once again, go to podsurvey.com/Pollak, Pollak, P-O-L-L-A-K, pod as in podcast, podsurvey.com/Pollak. Thank you. Hey, speaking of Amazon, were you? Well, it's time to. You love us, you love Amazon. Here's a way to help shop at Amazon while supporting Earwolf Wolf Pop 2. Instead of going directly to Amazon, go to earwolfwolfpop.com. That's earwolfwolfpop.com/Amazon. It'll take you to the same Amazon homepage that you know and love with all the great Amazon.com prices you know and love. But we'll get a sweet, sweet kickback. And by we, I mean them. You get your favorite Amazon deals, and the Earwolf Wonderful Genius Comedy Network will feel your extra love via the kickbacks. That's earwolfwolfpop.com/Amazon. Thank you. Welcome back once again to Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. I am, as always, Chat Show. How are you? Have you missed me? That's good vodka. I'm so happy to be back here at the West Side Comedy Theater. I want to thank Sean Casey and all the crazy clowns that run this ridiculous place. We love doing the show from here. We're thinking about maybe doing a live show from here, but we'll keep you posted on that. Follow on the Twitter at KP Chat Show, if you're not already. I just got back from Toronto, that's in Canada, working on this Ricky Gervais movie. I dropped that name, I pick it up again. So Ricky Gervais wrote, directed, and co-stars in this movie with Eric Bana, Kelly MacDonald, Vera Farmiga, Benjamin Bratt, and yours truly. I did not see Benjamin Bratt, but I hear he's actually a nice guy. Hold. You're not buffering. But I had an amazing time there. But first and foremost, tomorrow is my mother's birthday. I'd like you all to send $1 bill to, no, I want to wish my mom a happy birthday, even though she's, of course, not watching because she's old. What? Sorry? Yeah, Mom, thanks for being born. Otherwise, you know, this ain't happening. Not allowed to say her age. It's less than 100. And more than 50. Sent her all kinds of goodies. I can't wait to talk to my mom to tell her how much she enjoyed the goodies that I sent. I've threatened to bring her back to Los Angeles. We brought her out for a big birthday a few years back, and it was amazing. And I'm about to direct this motion picture, and so now I'm trying to get her out to witness that thing, and I'll let you know if she's able to make it out. But for the meantime, happy birthday, Mommy, I love you.
Aww.
Isn't that nice? Sammy, you just saw Harrison Lilly, no?
Sure did.
And they're well?
They're wonderfully well.
Oh, nice.
Whole family's great.
You were back there a couple of times since I saw you.
Yeah, you and I have been like ships passing in the night, my friend, the last several weeks.
Avoiding. Sammy, thank you again for sitting in on 2 shows.
It was 4 out of the last 5. Not a big deal, though, but thanks.
I was gonna say it was more than that.
Thank you.
2 since I've seen you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and great job, and thank you. And
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
You enjoying it?
It was wonderful. This is way easier, what I'm doing right now. This is a great spot. I can watch and be a fan and jump in when I want to.
You guys both make it look so effortless, but there's a lot of prep and research we have to
There's a lot of
go down.
pressure involved.
There's a little bit of prep involved. I maybe stay awake till like 3 or 4 the night before we go.
Yeah.
Doing all the research on the guests.
We were 6 years old in March this show.
Yeah.
And driving here today, I said again to Jamie, I'm stressed. I feel stressed every show.
I think that's more of a we can't figure out our timing. We can't figure out.
And then there's that. We
that-
moved 1/2 hour earlier,
I
and
know.
it shifted the entire planet.
And
what
moved
time were we supposed to leave?
locations.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Which is
Really, as far as I'm concerned, we moved 5 hours earlier.
Yeah, no shit.
We started this show Sundays at 5 p.m. It was wonderful. Wonderful.
We
I
did.
could sleep till 3, roll in.
the way you normally do.
Yep.
Jamie, it must be nice to have your house back.
Oh, well, I believe we talked about this with the
did you?
last show. Yeah, I was out of town a lot. Then we had house guests before and after me being out of town. So this is all old. You see, this is why you need to ask,
Why
actually-
watch the show?
No, or talk to me ever
Oh.
about anything that's going on.
Don't be silly.
So-
That's ridiculous. I don't even know what you're talking about. Huh? Anything else to report? Jamal, Sam? Upcoming things? Are you going to the KC thing?
You know I am.
We'll talk about that next week when the John Cryer's here. John Cryer will be our guest next Sunday.
That's going to be great.
Just told you that. Do you subscribe to us on YouTube? Do you? Won't you? What the fuck's your problem? Write a review. Would it kill you? Are you enjoying us on the Earwolf? The other huge news that I mentioned very, very briefly is that I am allegedly directing an indie comedy. In less than 3 weeks, we start shooting. And I'll tell you more about it next week. But I do want to tell you who the star of this movie is, because it was the determining factor. We get this guy. Can we get that guy? I directed the documentary, which I bored you all to tears about, but I booked everyone myself. I just emailed and called up and said, hey, would you mind if I interview you, and would you come to this location? I'm a gun for hire in this movie. I'm a director, and I've rewritten the script about 5 times, not through the WGA.
Even if you whisper it,
It still heard?
still went out on the air.
So the WGA could hear that.
They technically heard that.
Someone could report me right now.
They might.
Oh, there goes your subscription to Written By.
Damn it! Now, when I say rewritten the script, what I actually mean is I changed a paragraph. No, so I've spent a lot of time with the script. And I've made shot lists for the first 60 scenes. I've poured my heart and soul into this thing while I'm in Toronto working on the Gervais movie, which was insane because I was working with a comedic hero who within 2 hours of day one, we were like 9-year-olds trying to make each other laugh. It really was a spectacular experience. But every night I'm on Skype with costume designers and production designers and editors and cinematographers and actors. So we've got our star, we've got our lead, we've got our guy, and I can't wait to tell you about him. But I feel like we've kept today's guest. I feel like a big asshole. So I want to get to today's guest, but I promise I will tell you before this day is up. Our guest today is in the middle of Act 2 of a film experience. Unlike most film experiences, so many attempts are made at doing a sequel. I've been in a couple of them. Jamie might argue that Grumpier Old Men, as good as the first.
It's up.
One could argue.
And I also think Wayne's World 2.
Wayne's World 2.
Wayne's World is a little better, but they're pretty on par.
Neck and neck.
Casino 2?
Mighty Ducks 2.
Casino 2. And then don't forget, literally, Dr. Dolittle 2.
Oh, how could we ever forget?
Yeah, Santa Claus 2.
2.
And 3, not important. But this movie that our guest is in, Made like $200 million in the first like 8 days or something. It's crazy runaway, huge overseas, around the world.
I don't want to say that in their opening weekend, they made more than the entire original domestic run of the first.
Is that right?
That may be it.
Is that a statistic?
That might be a truth.
That's pretty fucking sweet. Our guest today is one of the stars of Pitch Perfect and Pitch Perfect 2, Skylar Astin.
Whoa!
What happened? It didn't only
Listen,
took 17 minutes to
can I
get
tell
to
you?
Yeah. Talk about pressure.
I feel like I could breathe now.
Well, finally.
Because off camera, Kevin told me about a story about Larry David, who had to do this very thing. Sit here through pre-roll and the theme song and a whole opening monologue.
Right.
Current events chat.
Sure.
And he was, being Larry David, that was rude to him. To me, it was nerve-wracking.
Really?
Because I feel like a secret, and I'm kind of like, I want to chime in. I want to be like Mighty Ducks 2. What about that one?
Yeah.
Which is, I'm full of these gems.
Arguably better as well, Mighty Ducks 2.
Possibly
You can
Team
make
USA.
that up. Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, your loss.
Yeah. Got
Your
the
loss for having me be shunned in the corner.
Well, let's pick up some speed then. Tell me about,
Perfect.
okay. The first thing is, born in New York.
Do you have John Cryer's facts on
Raised
there
in
already?
upstate New York. It's weird that I have John Cryer's research.
It's okay. We went to the
Why
same
is that,
performing
J-Mac?
arts camp, so it's all
Did
good.
you?
We sure did.
Tell me about
Stage Door Manor.
at the same. No, clearly not at the same time. He's incredibly older than you.
He was a.
He was a counselor by the time you were 10
right.
10 years old.
They don't do that. They don't promote campers to counselors at that particular camp.
Because
I just think it's the nature of the camp being a performing arts camp, businessy. It's kind of, I don't know, it might breed some inappropriate behavior possibly. I don't know.
you're saying there's some sex play
You
potential.
know, it's yes, potentially, especially if
But
you
isn't
get,
that what camp is?
I guess so. Although it's very, it's not so much at Stage Door Manor. They kind of have it under wraps there.
Do they?
Now what happens?
You're not allowed to sneak out in the middle of the night and go from cabin to cabin
That is the hardest thing to do.
because
And
they
there,
have dogs.
Since they might as well. They have some camp directors who are very intense.
And never sleep.
Never sleep, and they just anything heterosexual, they are going to stop dead in its tracks.
Why
Now,
were you specific about only heterosexual activity?
I'm glad you asked that, Samuel.
Thank you.
So the reason why it seems heterophobic in
Sure.
a way
Nice.
is
Put that in the books, by the way. I
because-
like that one.
right, God. So there's like a 4-to-1 ratio females to men.
Sure.
And a ratio probably of 90% of the guys that go there are either LGBTQ, like questioning, bisexual at this point,
Right.
15, 14, figuring it out.
Sure.
And it's a wonderful, welcoming, accepting place that breeds some of today's Broadway stars. And they're also finding themselves personally. So there's an all-boys dorm.
Sure.
And I was one of the few heterosexual men. And two of the three of my bunkmates were also straight. I don't know if they they kind of screen us first and they're like, here, let's let them hang out and talk about how they're gonna try to like
Score.
meet a girl.
Sure.
And yeah, everything else is no holds barred, man.
Wow.
Oh,
So
I see.
that was a fast education, and man, did I go to town on some of those guys? No, I'm kidding. I didn't, but I became accepting, and it was interesting to feel like the minority in that situation
Sure.
and be like, right, I'm in theater, I sing, I dance, I must be gay.
Yeah.
But turns out I came out of there still heterosexual.
Yeah.
So glad I'm covering this.
regular Jason
This is our
Alexander.
first hot topic.
That's what Jason Alexander says. He says the same thing. He says, to know me, you would think I am a gay man.
Right.
Everything about my lifestyle would suggest that I'm a gay man right up until the having sex with other men part.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Until we're at the penis bouncing off your
Yep.
face,
Yep. Then I'm out.
he's 100% gay.
Just couldn't get on board with it.
Yeah.
For me, just personally. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Didn't even need to try. How about that?
Yeah.
Just like knew it.
I think I've always been a believer in nature over nurture, although nurture certainly allows one to feel the truth about themselves. But I've always been a big believer in nature. that none of us really have any choice coming out of the chute, as it were. So, yeah, I mean, for the heterosexuals who did not go to theater camp, it might be the quickest default gay joke there is.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the absolute lack of experience or knowledge. And theater camp in itself is something the rest of the world wants to make fun of.
It's an easy target, man.
You know what I mean?
It really is.
But the truth of the matter is, if you called it a performing arts camp, I don't know that it would have, which it isn't, it's theater camp. So there should be an improv camp. There should be a stand-up comedy camp.
Now there can be an a cappella camp, you know, because of the pitch perfect of it all. We should, hey, you guys want to make some money. Because I know you said it made $200 million, right? And I got about like 200 of that. So $200 of that. So if we want to get together.
Yeah. We could buy ourselves
Jamie, of
some
course,
cabins.
as well.
No.
No? All right.
As much as that's like the one, I'm like very much a jack of all trades. I can do a little bit of everything, but there's nothing that I'm great at. And singing is absolutely like, I kind of can sing.
Oh, you don't have to sing.
And I'm entertained.
You just have to help run a camp.
Oh, you just have to boss around little kids.
All right, but then they're going to be like, well, why should we listen to her? She's not talented.
Because then you'll pull me out. I'll be your muscle. I'll be your like vocal muscle.
Yeah.
You know, that's just interesting because there's one thing that I want to talk about that's in the research that Jamie and Sam both enjoy the karaoke. And what I found interesting in the research about your feelings towards karaoke is it feels weird to have strong professional pipes and go to karaoke and use them. That feels instantly like a bad idea because everyone's going to be, really?
If I tried to draw a parallel to like what you're so great at,
Okay, please.
Gosh, first I'd have to pick, and then I'd probably go. It would be as if you went to an open mic in a very small town and just crushed, and everyone's just like, "Oh, come on,
What a dick.
This guy is 19, figuring it out. You know, talking about his first.
He thought he could
experience
do
with a lady."
William Shatner.
Yeah, exactly.
You get up there like an asshole.
Yeah. Oh man, he did walk and he did everyone. You get up there and you're like,
Yeah.
listen, kids, sit the F down.
You know, I did that once, by the way.
Great. Well, I'm sure it must have made you feel great about yourself.
I was out to dinner, and I saw someone walk by who was a fixture in Hollywood 20 years ago. An oddity of a fixture. And my then wife and I went, "Is that so-and-so?" Right? So then I had to ask and make sure it was him. And then we found out there was a room in the back of this restaurant where they were having an open mic night. Ooh. And so I had just enough wine and said, I'll have him introduce me.
I'll dance like a monkey for him, become his best friend, and then he'll hire me in all of his movies. I know your train of thought.
Oh, no, this guy was not that. This guy was like the host of a late night public access show. Yeah,
Great.
This guy was not going to do anything for
you.
me or anyone in show business.
So this is just narcissism in its purest form.
Well, it was also mocking
Sure.
him in a horrible way, like a really mean-spirited way.
Before Twitter, before you could just tweet him.
But Jamie and Sam do love the karaoke, and Sam, you don't love it?
I do.
You enjoy it.
I feel like you were just telling a story about Joe Franklin and you bailed.
Well, it was LA's version of Joe Franklin. Yeah, there was an LA Joe Franklin.
Okay.
He's got to be dead by now.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
100%.
Skippy Lowe. Skippy Lowe is his name.
Oh my God.
Google Skippy Lowe right now. You will
I'll have
see a Muppet, basically.
Well, I do something really, I was just telling a buddy about this the other day. This is super embarrassing. I haven't told many people, but I do this thing where if I see like a musician, my mind goes, oh my God, that's so-and-so. What's that one song that they sing? Oh yeah. And then I sing it in my head. And sometimes, because I mumble and songs get in my head, it'll come out. Story. I'm on a plane with Miles Teller, who you know very well.
The wonderful Miles Teller.
And Weezer, the lead singer of Weezer.
Rivers Cuomo.
There you go. Rivers Cuomo was.
Sorry.
No.
It's one of the reasons you're here.
Thank the Lord. Yeah, I would have people have been like, the guy's telling a whole story, but a guy doesn't even know his name. he's sitting in front of me, and I'm like, oh my God, Weezer is so great because they've had that comeback, and I'm doing this whole inner monologue going, what was that one song they sang when I was younger? Oh yeah, Buddy Holly. So in my head for a whole flight, I'm just, ooh, wee, ooh, I look just like Buddy. That's fun. Then we're literally taking our bags down, and I'm just, uh-oh, like to Mary Tyler Moore. And like, Miles just goes, dude, what the hell are you doing? He thought 100% in my head, I'm like, oh, I know how I'll get in with Weezer and become like their new band member. I'll just sing their huge hit for them, especially the one that they're probably so sick of at this point.
That's exactly right.
And it's just super embarrassing, and I think I've done that more than once. So anyway, Joe Franklin's dead.
Skippy Low passed last September. You're in the clear.
Last September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that was close.
Yeah. It's down to the wire, my friend.
By the way, he was 120 years ago. So, oh my God.
Meanwhile, Rivers probably heard you saying that. He would be like, "Oh, so he's a
Oh,
little."
so you know him.
I have a close friend that is like Weezer obsessed, and he is like very close with his fans, and they've become friends.
Right.
And I've met him a couple times, and he's a little odd.
Interesting.
That too is being heard by everyone.
Yeah, whispering on the mics. It still
What
goes
is
out.
this about this?
No, but it's like in a genius,
You know, I heard
it's
he's
in
a
a
wheelchair.
genius sort of way. It's like the guy's a genius, so he's of course going to be like a little off. Like,
Sure.
It's not,
But
I'm not
also, if
saying
he's that close and dedicated to his fans, I'm sure singing Buddy Holly from 1998 is not. Well, maybe it actually is. But if it was track 9, then he would have just
I
been
think
like,
the album
my
came
dude.
out in '95 or 6. Sorry.
Offspring and Green Day. Wow, you really are fact
I'm
checking me
not
on
a
the
trivia
Weezer.
team. I'm sorry, this is my whole life.
It's okay. I had their cassette, so it definitely was in the 90s.
Yeah,
I'm going to say 94, 95.
Yeah,
I was,
I was
you were in
gonna
middle
say,
school when
yeah.
that happened, so
definitely.
there you go.
Yeah.
Late elementary for me.
We're a little older.
Yeah, I know. We were just talking off air about how we're so close in age, but there's
And
just
yet-
a 3 that separates us.
And yet, because you're still in your 20s.
Yeah,
And now
right.
I'm 33.
Yeah.
I was telling Skylar I was getting up, and I made that noise that I do when I get up because everything hurts. And I was saying it's the strangest thing. When I turned 30, it was like a
Just
light
because you're
switch.
an old Jew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. But even when I was in my late 20s, I was like, it's mostly an act. I'm fine. Now everything hurts.
You're completely justified in all of your kvetching to
Thank
yourself
you.
Yeah.
now.
And that's at 33, everybody. 33. Talk to me when you're 53. What's going to happen when you're 53?
There's no way I'll make it.
Be in a wheelchair?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything hurts.
Ugh.
The ailments. Oh, the ailments.
It hurts to talk about it. My doctor put me on the all mucus diet. Now, let me ask you this, Skylar.
Yes, sir.
At what age did you, in fact, sit your parents down and say, Mom, Dad, nice to see you. Have a seat. Listen, quick question. Not that I'm not enjoying the teasing at school, but just a skosh curious how you actually came up with the name Skylar.
Ooh. Did I get teased a lot? I'll tell you what I got teased about is
Because also there's Jace, Brielle, and Milan.
Jace, Briella, Milan.
Are your siblings?
Did you do research or are you stalking me? No. Jace is my older brother. Fairly normal. They softened the beach a little bit there. Jace Ryan is his middle name.
Okay.
Our last name is Lipstein.
Right.
Secret's out, guys. Jewish.
Well, the
you know. It's on Wikipedia. I own it.
Yeah.
When I was 14, an agent was like, "Listen, you're never gonna work in this city. You're gonna pigeonhole yourself, kid. You can be Puerto Rican. You know. So go with what's your middle name." So I chose Astin. Milan Jagger is his middle name.
Jesus.
Which
Your parents are dirty hippies,
you would think.
but they're not. I know.
I almost, and I wouldn't change them, but I almost wish that they, because people are like, man, they must have just been like, let's name her Brielle. You know what I mean? And that was me doing some space work with, just so you know, I know you're directing lately.
Well, David
So,
Harvey has a great bit about because his kids are named Tom and Dex, and he's like, Tom, normal name. He's like Dex, and he's like, yeah.
yeah, that was when we were going through that phase. But so Skylar wasn't that bad. Reach for the Skylars, you know,
What?
oh, look up Sky, a lot of Sky puns, right?
Sure.
Not a very comedically timed town I grew up in. But Lipstein was a target, because it had lips in it. You're talking lip shit, lipstick, limp dick. I'm making these up now, and now I'm like, God, that's a good one. I'm gonna call my brother who still goes by Lipstein and be like, what's up, limp dick?
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Nice cut.
Yeah.
And is it Jace who's in the fashion world?
Jason designed this shirt. And I do this when I show the shirt because elbow
Because elbow
pads on a
patches are
shirt,
super rad.
super cool.
What's the
Yeah.
name of his line?
Grungy Gentleman. Grungy Gentleman.
Grungy Gentleman.
Big shout out to Grungy Gentleman. He's insanely talented.
Yeah, no kidding.
Insanely. Well, the thing is, I went
writing
to
this
his.
down.
I went to his.
Literally.
Yeah, right. You're gonna get some Hanukkah gifts from Grungy Gentleman, if not from me.
Well,
So he did a fashion show, his second one. I was able to come this year. Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. Don't know why the car sponsors the whole week,
not sure.
but
Don't care for it.
Yeah, drive a BMW myself. And then, but you know, so I was like, what's this gonna be? This is gonna be so weird because my brother is like a very macho dude, like diehard Knicks fan. You would have never guessed he would have become this fashion designer. And he's a little bit more of like the hip hop urban version of myself, so a little bit more yos in there.
A few more yos.
And some yo-yos. Good one, man.
When he really wants your attention,
yeah,
it's the yo-yo.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So I was really excited, but he's so innovative. He did not just have the typical runway. We all stood in this room in Chelsea Piers. In the center, he had Jadakiss and Jules Santana come out wearing Grungy Gentleman.
Shut up.
Rapping their hits. Because my brother just finds angles to know people, and just like they end up doing him favors, and halfway through they're like, why am I doing this? But now I'm having fun. And it's a very infectious environment, and it was seamless. I'm sure it was a lot of work on his part, but they're now coming around us and walking around, so everyone gets to see everything. The models are coming in, and then the models, instead of now standing there very pretentious, since it's like, you know, kind of streetwear, I guess you'd call it, they're just moving to the beat. Little Jules Santana, and then everyone starts dancing, and then once all the people come out, it just turns into the reception already, and everyone's already
Crazy.
drinking the drinks and buying the clothes, and it's just great.
And it's grunge what?
Grungy Gentleman.
Grungy.
Oh, I wrote it
Gentleman.
down.
Yeah.
I wish they would make more clothes for women with elbow. I love elbow patches.
You do.
I know.
You're all
I mean,
about the
sure
elbow
Sure they
patch.
do.
Not enough. I need a good jacket.
Is that a good improv team name, Elbow Patch?
Oh God. Well, we said it out loud.
Hi guys, we're Elbow Patch. Thank you guys so much for coming. Just a couple things just to tell you guys, and they do this a lot. I don't know. Never done it myself.
You too were athletic growing up, by the way. You mentioned your brother, Macho Man.
Yeah.
I watched one of your interviews on our pal Rich Eisen, a former guest of this show.
Love Rich
But you've
Eisen.
been on a couple times on Rich's
That means he liked me.
video podcast. It does indeed.
Yeah.
He's only threatened to have me on. He's had you on twice.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going back for a third, man.
I bet you
No.
are.
I don't know. Maybe for Pitch Perfect 3 he'll have me. His kids are big Pitch Perfect fans, so that was a big incentive to have me on in the first place. And then my knowledge of New York sports franchises got
Right.
me on for a second time.
Yeah, you were nutty with the knowledge.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Well, if you really want to get me talking and you really want to lose your listeners, get me started on
The Jets,
UFC.
the Jets or the Mets?
UFC.
Oh, UFC. MMA
Yeah.
is what.
Yeah. Mixed martial arts is what
yeah.
it stands for. That's the sport. UFC is the organization within the sport.
Thank you.
So a lot of people will be like, oh, do you do UFC fighting? And that's like asking if you play football by asking if you play NFL.
Hey, do you? How often do you play NFL? Like you and your friends get together and play NFL?
Yeah, NFL 2K on the game system or something like that.
Right.
No, I train just a little bit, but you know, I can't mess with the moneymaker, so I pay someone to get beaten up by me.
Sure.
Yeah, which is a blast.
Sure it is. It must be.
You ever been in a one-way fight? It's
It's not
easy.
bad.
All my fights have been one way.
Yeah?
Against me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aw.
Wow, that
Let's
really,
take a moment.
No, it's fine.
It's awesome.
It's fine, nerd.
You guys, it's not true. Anyone who's ever hit me, I've had killed. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
All right, because
We
you're
have
connected.
a section of the show, a news section that our very own Natalie Rosen put on your list of things to do as the new executive assistant. We need to
I
create
like that she waved.
She did wait.
Yeah. She's like, this is it. I've been waiting 2 years for this. Doesn't know how cameras work.
waved.
We need to get a graphic made for this section called Famous Questions.
Famous
These are
questions. Yeah.
All right.
That's done.
There it is. Because
There
we
you
got another thing we're going to play called Tweet 5, and Dave Keckner, during an interview, does what became our Tweet 5 graphic song. So now, whether you like it or not, Did we get a signed release, by the way? For the show?
No, you own me. You own me.
Okay, good.
You own my entire career at this point.
Well,
I signed blindly. I did it just like
Yeah.
this, too.
What's this about firstborn male? Never mind. So these are famous questions because they're questions specifically for you from famous people.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. First one from John C. McGinley.
Oh, so this is a real thing. I thought that this was going to become a bit where you do impressions of, like, Skylar. You know, you just do your thing. That's
Was that your
all
Christopher
I'll ever do.
Walken?
That's all you'll ever hear me do.
Skylar. It is that perfect double
Yeah.
dual
I'm good.
syllable.
I'm really good with two, you know.
So your pal John C. McGinley.
I'm really good with two.
For some reason, the T5 graphic went up on the screen.
Because you just say Keckner's name and it goes up automatically?
No, it's on a delay. It went up, but it went up 2 minutes ago when you were talking about T5.
And we just saw it because we have the feed on.
But I'm not going to do the tweet 5 yet.
You would.
What
Jesus
kind of
Christ.
operation are you running here? This isn't even hot at all.
He promised he would tell the lie.
Should we do the bit?
So
The
I
worst
asked,
part is we've been doing this now for over 6 years.
Yeah,
years.
but maybe your fan base is even growing because of the hot mess that it's become. It should become more unprofessional.
oh
every
no,
time.
we
We
from the
should, can we
beginning.
change the name to Kevin Pollak's Hot Mess?
Yes.
Oh, no, wait, that does not sound good.
Oh,
As soon as it came out
That's
of my
what happens
mouth,
when
I
you
was
open the
like, no.
toilet. Come on,
the
guys.
password is spooge. So I'm not sure John C. McGinley got my request, which was I have a new bit on the show called Famous Questions, which I get questions from famous people who specifically have worked with my guests. I'm hoping you might be able to cough one up for Skylar. To which he writes,
Is it long-winded?
no.
Okay.
He writes, Skylar is an MMA fanatic and an ardent practitioner. So I think any and all inquiries about mixed martial arts will yield good, clean fun. Not a question, John.
It's a suggestion, really.
It's not a question, it's a suggestion. I was looking for a famous question. So the
But
MMA,
John is just so by nature so helpful.
he really is, right?
So I don't think he wants to do your job for you. I
No.
think he's really trying to help make
Even
your
though I
product
asked him
better.
for a question. Could you
Well-
cough up a question? So we'll pretend that was a question.
Okay, it's just him being helpful and non-committal at the same time.
He always seemed like a total sweetheart
Yes.
to me.
Aggressively kind is what I like to call him.
Because he's
'Cause
in
he'll
your
just be
face
like,
with kindness.
Skylar, you look so fucking good in that shirt. If he likes you, man, it is some wonderful. It's how you always want to be
He
complicated.
did call me Kev.
Complicated? No. Complicated? No,
No.
complimented. though.
Complimented. He did call me Kev
Mm-hmm.
in his first email to me,
Oh yeah.
which I found aggressively kind.
Absolutely. He'll jump right. Skyman, I think was my like week 2. Baby, Sky Baby, you know, he turns into Vince Vaughn all of a sudden.
Does he have one of those uncanny knacks? Because we have a friend, Dylan, and my eldest sister, Jill, has this ability to give somebody a nickname that has nothing to do with who they are, but it sticks.
But it sticks with
Yeah,
everyone.
that's
And
a
it sticks with
great.
everyone.
That's a great trait to have.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm
that's-
saying, J Squad?
That's how I got the nickname Jamal. No one
It
knows
is.
where it came from, but my sister started calling me Jamal when I was like 6.
And then DK started calling
Yeah.
you Jamal. But let's try to answer his
Okay,
non-question.
okay.
So,
like we're halfway
how
there.
did you get dialed into the MMA world?
And now we're gonna have a callback to my brother Milan.
Boom, boom.
There we go, killing 2 birds. What's
happening?
this? they just
Get it
fired
all
on
out.
their own.
Get
I
it
don't
all
know what
out.
happened.
Get it all out.
They were hands and now.
Yeah.
So
New version of the gun show.
Yeah.
Apparently.
there you go. You heard it here first, folks. Which camera? That one. So yes, Milan.
Yeah.
Jagger Lipstein.
Sure.
Full name. He is a fanatic. And we used to watch WWF at the time, now WWE, because of the World Wildlife Federation?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be WWF still. We were into it, but it was fake, obviously. And the
What?
first time, yeah, it's real to me, damn it. But he showed me a. I'm gonna get this sentence out.
Sure.
He showed me a fight, and at first it was very barbaric, as you know, as they can
It does
be.
look like the killing field.
Yes, but then he started explaining all the disciplines and how it all comes together. And this guy's a boxer matched up with a wrestler, so he's going to try to take him down while he's going to try to keep it on the feet. Once it goes to the ground, however, this guy is a jiu-jitsu specialist, and this guy's a black belt, so it's going to become a grappling match. And then the ref may stand them up if there's not enough action. And now and so all of a sudden I was getting this mixed martial arts in my face.
Right.
And it became less brutal. It became more regulated to me. It became like a league. I got to watch a bunch of behind-the-scenes interviews with the president and how they kind of talk about. You realize it's not. If it was Chuck Liddell versus me, that would be brutal, horrible. I clearly wouldn't want to be there. He'd be chasing me around the cage. But these guys both trained to be there, and it's almost like a modern-day gladiator situation where they're kind of going to war.
Right.
And you just lost all your listeners because they're like, I've heard him talk about this before. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But here's the thing. If anyone says, yeah, but still there's blood and there's face punches and it's just too much for me.
Yeah.
The guys are all adrenaline, juiced up and red, and I just can't handle that kind of violence. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, look, it like any sport, it's not for everyone.
Sure.
Some people don't like to watch boxing in its original form. So, yeah, I mean, playing the NFL can be can be too brutal of a sport to watch.
I used to play NFL back in high school.
Sure. I've got another famous question for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will it be a question this time?
Let's find out, shall we? This one is from Dimitri Martin,
Oh my God.
right?
Fantastic.
Little thing called Taking Woodstock.
Does he still remember? This is how I find out that people I worked with 8 years ago remember. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Because I have the ability to reach out to famous people. That's
We're gonna be.
that's really what this bit is about.
Yeah.
It's really
Oh,
me
it's you
showing
name
up.
dropping. Yeah, 100%. I know people you know better than you know them. Anyway,
Yeah.
here's a non-questioned question your way.
They'll respond to me sooner than they'll respond.
I'm trying to get Dimitri to do my show for you. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
What's your fondest memory of shooting in that farmhouse? Flies, heat, or warm chocolate milk?
Oh, all of the above.
Explain, because I have no idea what you're talking
Okay, so
about.
we shot a movie called Taking Woodstock, directed by Ang Lee, and it was Dimitri Martin, myself, Jonathan Groff, Eugene Levy,
Sure.
Adam Pally, to name a few, and
Jason Antoon.
it was yes.
He was cut.
But he was
cut. A lot of us were, a lot of our parts were reduced significantly. Ang likes to shoot 4-hour movies and then reduce them to like a good 2:45. So we were
solid 245.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a little insight into what it was like to be directed by Ang Lee.
It's wonderful. He is a master.
You went right to the party line.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. That's your knee jerk?
Yeah, right. It was great, no matter what I say next.
Does your brain go back to the
Well, I just had a tough day on set that day.
because of the warm chocolate milk or the
I
flies?
was, Adam Pally got the worst of the warm chocolate milk because he decided to do a big gulp during the master. And if you don't know anything about working with Ang Lee, he shoots about 13 masters. And as a director and
I
actor.
don't shoot any.
Yeah,
I hate
exactly.
them.
You
I
just
hate
go
them.
right into the
They're
coverage.
a complete waste of time.
Well-
they're to cover your ass in editing. It's the only thing. I mean, if there's a big shot of an exterior, I understand you want to see, or we're in an auditorium, we want to see some geography. Where am I in this fucking thing?
Yeah, I think he really wanted to feel that room and he didn't know which way to do it. He's also a master sculptor. So he has the movie kind of already edited in his head. So in a way, it becomes not frustrating, but difficult, because I've never worked with a director like that where they, I don't want to say micromanage, but they kind of control a lot of your physicality.
Yes.
So I had to be sitting across from Eugene Levy and be negotiating with him very staunchly. And I guess I thought that we already got my coverage. Everyone's like, nice job, dude, that was great. I was like, yeah, I could eat lunch now, I'm excited. And then he comes up to me, hey, so we're on you next. And this is like my second movie, so I was like, am I wrong? I thought all of it was already happening, but apparently they were high and far and wide, and he doesn't tell you what he's doing, really. So finally now it's like my super close-up,
Sure.
the introduction to the film.
Just your
He's
nose
kind
and
of,
lips.
Yeah, he's shooting at what feels like a slope, like it's kind of coming down and coming up. So I'm doing this uncomfortable thing with my shoulder where I'm supposed to be talking and I'm supposed to have like all this tension running through me. And he'll call, he'll say, rolling. Okay, Skylar, just before we go, move your chin up. No, not that far up. Okay, now to the right. To the right. I'm like this, and I'm getting ready to do the thing. And then he calls action, and then I relax into it and start talking, and then cut because now I'm out of his.
Wow, I'm getting inspired.
It's yeah. It was fascinating, and then when I saw it in the thing, I was like, oh, I get it now. I wish you could have turned it around to show me, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Dimitri and I commiserated over that because I think he had one day like that on that set as well, where he just couldn't figure out why it wasn't.
He spoke of working with Ang Lee here at this table, not in this room, and the difficult nature of the specifics.
He's a genius.
With which he worked.
You know what's so fascinating is I've been on film sets where there's a couple stars, but when you're on an Ang Lee set, he's the star. And I'm not saying that he has diva behavior, but everyone is so grateful to be on an Ang Lee film that they're just not trying to fuck up the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, I don't want to be the guy that makes this thing not Life of Pi. You know what I mean?
Right.
Did you have to fight the urge on a daily basis to say you won't like me when I'm Ang Lee?
Yeah. Not once. Not once. No, I didn't. And then just turned. No, but I'll tell you what. Adam Pally was starting to turn a little green from all that warm chocolate milk. So
There it
guys,
is.
Boom!
Because he directed Hulk, you see.
Well, that was the thing.
Thanks, everybody. We're elbow patches.
yeah. Thank you guys for elbow patches. Did I hear chocolate milk? I already heard testicles. We're gonna go with testicles.
Dimitri had a follow-up question,
Oh,
which chimes right in with
Is
your guys'
Dimitri
gag.
co-hosting.
Yes. I don't like asking questions.
That would be
it's
great.
Weird that
a
I host this
podcast
show.
all done through their famous friend.
Yes. If you could have been in any other Ang Lee movie besides the one you were in, which would it be? And of course, it's the Hulk.
Yeah,
No.
well, I don't think anyone. I mean,
I just work with Eric.
I'd go with Ice Storm.
I just worked with Eric.
There you go.
Eric Bana, by the way.
Yeah. He's
Not
really angry.
a great experience.
No.
Ew.
God.
Yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
Wait, but aren't you supposed to whisper that because you can't hear it then? Not a great experience.
This episode has so many callbacks. So many callbacks.
So many callbacks.
Yeah,
Well,
don't
you better
come
be
in the
tuning
middle.
into this whole thing.
Yes.
You don't just watch this show in snippets.
Yeah.
Or else you'll be completely lost.
Wait a minute. A great improv group. Snippets. We're snippets.
Speaking of callbacks, this
No.
is just becoming industry comedian talk. People are like, I don't know what any of this means.
Oh my God. Okay. So I apparently have to do. It's mid-roll time.
Wow, the battle
Yes, it's mid-roll time. We have a couple of them. Sit back and enjoy. We want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank the following sponsors, and we hope that you will support them because they are supporting this show so that you can enjoy it for free, fuckers. Too much? Not enough.
You can enjoy it for free, fuckers?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that's what I'm saying.
okay.
Yeah. I
People
know-
that are free to fuck?
It doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. J-Mac, do you have two mid-rolls?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. It's the Amazon and the foot cardigan?
There's
Sure.
a cardigan for your feet?
Wait. Here's good news. Father's Day is roughly 2 weeks away. Let's be real, folks. We've done the same damn thing for too long. Dad's got way too many coffee cups, braided leather belts, David Beckham fragrance sets, and tech accessories he'll never understand. You know what Dad doesn't have too many of? Badass socks from Foot Cardigan. You heard me. A subscription to Foot Cardigan will get your dad one random pair of awesome socks delivered to his mailbox every month. Yeah, you heard that right. He'll remember, if you read what it's, he'll remember your super thoughtful gift every month for as long as you want him to. So that's on you. You want Dad to get 6 months, 8 months, 2 months. That's on you. We're not going to tell you how to. Foot Cardigan delivers one pair of amazing socks to your dad's mailbox every month. No more holy white socks. I'm going to break down all the negatives. No more mismatched Argyle ones either. Only badass socks from here on out. You're welcome, people of the world, month to month, 3, 6, 9, 12-month pay one subscriptions are available. A surprise pair of socks delivered to his door every month. The gift that makes your dad's pleated khakis look great. That's what we're trying to do. Be your dad's favorite kid. That's right. It's also a great way to shit on your siblings. Be your dad's favorite kid this year and get him a subscription to Foot Cardigan. Your siblings won't be able to.
It should be Foot Cardigan for the best kid whose father will remember.
Nice.
See?
That is the motto. Foot cardigans for the best kid your father will remember. But you always wanted to be your only child anyways. You see, lame old father's gifts have to stop. Get your dad a subscription to Foot Cardigan. Get 10% off. That's the important part. I want to get to it. 10% off your Foot Cardigan subscription by going to footcardigan.com and entering, wait for it, DAD, BOD 3. That's DAD, BOD 3 during checkout. Footcardigan.com, enter DAD, BOD 3. Your dad will remember Father's Day every single month.
That's dad bod, by the way.
Dad bod?
That's a new trend.
It's a thing. Dad bods are in right now.
Tell me about dad bods.
What is it?
You've got a dad bod.
No, he does not.
I've got a dad bod.
Kevin does not have a dad
No,
bod.
Kevin's in good shape.
Yeah, Kevin's in good
You don't
shape.
have a dad bod.
Oh, the body of your father.
The body of a father.
Yeah, it's more like it's not your father. It's just like,
Like mom
oh,
jeans?
that guy's a dad.
Yeah.
Is this the new mom
Yeah.
jeans?
It's like a dad who's like, he's not like, he hasn't let himself go or anything, but it's like,
He's a little
he's stopped
pudgy.
going to the gym because
There's no
he's got
V.
the kids
There's no
now.
V. It's kind of straight up and down.
It's just kind
maybe
of
flares.
just a block of humanity.
Our own Kenny Chen is demonstrating
Oh
a
my
God,
dad
get
bod.
on
the
here.
epitome of the dad bod.
Dad,
no.
Kenny, I'm going to need you on camera for
Yeah.
the demonstration.
Kenny, you've been on camera before. Don't be
It's
shy.
pretty good.
Well,
Use your imagination.
We did have a first. This is show 239, and Jamie came racing to my defense on not having a dad bod. Thank
True.
you, honey.
Well, she's right. I misappropriated the term for you.
Yeah, thanks, 33.
You're welcome.
Hey, do you love our show? Answer the fucking question. Do you love Amazon? I'm waiting for that answer too. We have a way you can support our show and Amazon and thank them for bringing us your support. See, it's all interworking. Next time you have to shop at Amazon, go to Amazon.com. Take the insider route instead. Go to earwolfwolfpop.com/Amazon. Let me break that down for you again. earwolfwolfpop.com/Amazon. earwolfwolfpop.com/Amazon. That takes you to the same Amazon site, the same homepage. But you see, by going through there, they throw a couple shekels at the Earwolf Wolf Pop people who support this show in a crazy, fantastic, wonderful way. So if you want to love this show and spend an extra 3 seconds to do it, this is all you have to do. You don't have to pay any extra money. You don't have to do any extra crap. There's nothing really extra for you to do other than the 3 seconds I'm talking about here. And just go to Earwolf or wolfpop.com/Amazon. They're saying it's and or. Earwolf or wolfpop.com/Amazon. Go ahead, bookmark that puppy right now, and every time you buy batteries or a Kindle or a television or a cardigan or a last-second present for your dad, you get your favorite Amazon deals. We feel your extra love via the kickback. That's a win-win. Hooray, Amazon, and hooray you. Thank you for supporting the sponsors who support us. Getting back to our guest, Skylar. Now, folks, I have to, Skylar, ask your forgiveness for just 3 more seconds.
Sure.
I kind of said at the beginning of the show that I was going to announce who we cast as the star of this film I'm allegedly directing called The Late Bloomer, based on a true story written by this guy, Ken Baker, who, at age 30, went through puberty for the first time. Sorry? Well, they found a brain tumor resting against his pituitary gland, and once removed, it allowed him to finally get a level of testosterone that would be more considered normal. But more importantly, for comedic purposes, he literally went through puberty at age 30. So he wrote this book, Man-Made, The Story of My Body, and the screenplay is now called The Late Bloomer. And the search to find the late bloomer was not an easy one. Again, mostly out of my control. However, our very own Jamie Foxx got in my face when I mentioned the actor's name who ultimately got the job, who she just went kind of bananas, and you don't go bananas for anyone, really. We kind of pride ourselves on hating everyone. I think it's our thing. Yeah, I don't like them.
I don't like that because then people really do tell me like, oh, you hate everything, you don't like anything that's fun,
No,
and
that's
I'm
true,
like,
though.
it's not true.
Well,
I
you
don't
You
hate
gotta also
everything.
get friends that don't talk like that, though.
Also, about having taste. It's called having taste, discerning taste. So anyways, I mentioned this actor's name. Jamie goes nuts, and because I know she has discerning taste, I pay attention to this guy. I do some research. I go back to my producers who are barely letting me cast anyone or anything, and I say, this is our guy. And they say, yeah, but what about these other ones who move the needle in foreign markets more? It's a fantastic game, the casting game. But I wanted this actor to know that it was a dead set thing for me from the get-go. So anyways, we got on Skype together. It was supposed to be like 20, 30 minutes. It was just under 70 minutes. I was in Toronto. He was in his kitchen, or so it looked. Crazy comfortable. And people afterwards asked, what was a Skype interview like? Was it weird or worse than being live? I feel like it's the best way because, again, he was in his kitchen. Instead of getting all dolled up and coming into some office for an interview or meeting at a lunch where neither one of us are enjoying the meal because there's this uncomfortable stress of, am I going to get the job? Do I want the job? All that shit. So it went so great that I was able to win, and they got on board. I don't want to misrepresent their fanship, but they got on board pretty fast. And I'm announcing officially for the very first time in any way, shape, or form, before Twitter, it's being announced here on the Chat Show. The star of The Late Bloomer is,
Bob
drum roll
Balaban.
please,
Is it not Bob Balaban?
Skylar Astin.
What? Shut
You didn't even know.
I didn't even. Who's in here? What is this? What?
I know. I had this crazy idea
I just went through puberty. Oh my God.
that we would do the lamest thing on this show we've ever done, and I think I took as long as I could to milk
It
it.
was good.
It's like
You
how
had me?
John
You had-
Hamm found out he was going to be on Mad Men.
That's right.
Exactly. There's a little piece of me, just the insecure, neurotic Jew actor that I am, went, oh no, he recast it. He's talking
This is
too
the
much.
And by the
He's
way,
not
this
making-
is the way he's
Yeah.
telling me.
He's not making eye contact.
It's like when Jay Moore takes Tom Cruise to the restaurant to fire him and Jerry Maguire because
Right.
it's a public thing and he can't freak out. This is the way I was going to tell you
and
didn't
then,
get
and
the
then
job.
I take the mic off and do a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's a kitchenette. I mean, I'm hoping he just doesn't understand his kitchen terms, because that was me in my kitchenette. Yes, and it was a lovely Skype session, and here we are.
And how was Skyping for you as an actor from your kitchenette?
It was nice. I wasn't wearing any bottoms.
Right? Comfortable?
I mean, not the same bottoms I would be. I would be wearing jeans, but
Sure.
instead I was wearing more like mesh shorts with no one. Why am I telling you this?
I was in chainmail.
Yeah.
From the waist down.
You were. It was a darker situation on your end. It
I
was
was
a lot.
trying to be sexy.
Yeah, I was very brooding. I was giving you, and you were drinking red wine, by the way.
Aha.
I was no beverage.
No
Wanted to
beverage.
just seem really low maintenance for you.
Right.
And
I just had room service actually right before
Okay.
that. And because the
So you are drinking when I'm not around. I knew it.
oh no, is that how that's what happens?
I've
now?
been in AA for 14 years.
Okay.
You were not supposed to say that. No, I'm kidding.
Manischewitz, it's just a little bit.
Yeah. No, the production office fucked up my reservation. I had to change rooms, so they bought me dinner, and I said, I'm gonna get an expensive glass
yeah.
of wine. That was literally the best way I could think of to punish them, was to get a
Yeah.
glass of wine. So there I was on Skype, and you're thinking, ooh, was he a drunk? How's this gonna go?
I was like, wow, he's really seducing me into this role. No,
So, Skylar.
Yeah, pinky out. Cavassier? Is that Cavassier? That was wonderful. We just, what was very important to
What?
me was that we were on the same page about the humanity of the script.
Yes.
And finding out that it's not about the erection of the moment, but the tension of the moment.
Yeah.
And the fear and the horrifying nature that it is that this man's going through all these changes.
Yeah. Let's spend the first act getting to know these people and actually caring about them before puberty hits in the second act and we get the 5 scenes for our trailer.
Right, exactly. And everyone's going to be like, yeah, Oh, I get what's happening here.
Yeah. Like masturbating to just the theme of Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
Yeah. One of the favorite jokes that I may or may not have written.
I saw that. Yeah, depending on the WGA's approval.
Right.
Yes, I saw that. And I'll tell you what, though, during that theme song, there's a lot going on. It's a lot. It's a 3D puzzle. If I've ever seen. Do you watch?
By the way, we're gonna have a graphic, so that your erection actually
just goes with the towers. Perfect. Do you guys watch Game of Thrones? You don't?
I do.
Think you would for
I do.
sure.
I watch
And
Game
I'm
of-
not.
No, I get it. You're correct in the assumption. I've been meaning to. I'm woefully behind. I've seen the pilot, and I meant
You remind
to.
me a lot of my friend named Arnie. This is high praise.
Arnie's it?
And Arnie read all the books.
Okay.
And is not a big fact checker, but holds that secret close and will be like, well, it's amazing. I don't want to tell you, but it gets really good. I feel like you would have insider scoop on Game of Thrones.
It's written by an old man.
Yeah.
Great moment.
I add a lot to the show.
Why had you mentioned?
I mentioned this because I was wondering during the Game of Thrones theme, do you ever watch all of the cities and how they're coming together? Because that's how they tell you where they'll be during that episode.
Apparently, that is the case, and I purposely don't because it's hard enough to keep track of all the characters and all the villages and all the parts of the world this fucking show takes place in. The last thing I need is a roadmap with confusing names.
I know.
Glorgaglil. Oh, great.
Tarth.
Which one's Glorgaglil?
Yeah, just Q's without U's after him. You're like, how do I say that? I have no idea how to even
That's
say
not how you
that.
spell cake.
Yeah, you guys are really pitching it well, by the way.
Yeah. But, there's other things. But my buddy Matt, who I used to watch the show with, he used to love that.
And he would explain to you how it was happening?
Yeah. He'd be like, you remember Quaidar? Quaidar's where they went with the drag. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna have to rewind a bunch during this episode, like we always do, and you're gonna need to explain to me what's happening a couple times.
This
What
sounds
is-
like me over-explaining where we're going on Star Tours to my friends that aren't really into Star Wars.
Yes. Yes.
This is what it sounds like to me.
Do you go to Star Tours a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I go to Disneyland at least twice a month.
And Star Tours is still around? Because I thought that they
Oh,
would
they
have made that.
they redid it probably about 5 years.
Yeah, and it's
years
now
ago.
what?
And now there's like 6 different planets that you travel to, and you don't know what sequence you're gonna get.
It's actually
and there's
way
like
cooler.
54 different
Ooh.
combination possibilities.
Are you excited about the new Star Wars?
I am. I actually for the I watched the trailer online, and then we went to see Tomorrowland, and I saw the trailer like on this giant screen, and I actually was like, okay, now I'm really excited.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my God, I can't imagine. Do they do the? in
See,
a
I
long
don't
time
hate
ago?
everything, people.
Yeah.
I like Star Wars, and it came to across the other day that I enjoy the J.J. Abrams Star Trek reboots.
Yes.
So there,
There
I
you
don't
go.
hate everything.
Yeah. I'm counting on light flares. Lens flares.
Lens
I mean,
flares.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Lens Flares. Because J.J. Abrams, is he a part of the new Star Wars?
Yes.
He directed this
Yes.
first reboot.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
That's
So
what made
you're
me think
looking
of it.
to, you think it's going to be all lens flary, or he only does that for the Trek, not the war?
That's hoping it's a Trek thing.
Okay.
No, that's a JJ thing across the board.
Yeah.
And the best part about that is, here's where I'm going to nerd out.
There
on
you go. I've been waiting for this.
Lens flare is created because of the way sunlight comes in through our atmosphere.
Yes.
So if you're in outer space, there can be no lens flare.
Nice.
Wow.
But did you also know there's a guy with a holster with like 6 different lights to shine
And
towards?
you only know this because Reggie Watts told
Reggie
you.
Watts told us
this.
he's got the holster with 4 to 6 different lights on it that he shoots at the lens to create these.
How does Reggie Watts know that?
Exactly. It's in his hair.
It's in it.
Yeah.
It's all in his hair.
He's a genius, that guy. I like that guy a lot.
Yeah. So Reggie, if you're watching,
Reggie Watts is in Pitch Perfect too.
Yes. He's in with Hodgman and Jolo.
He's in that awesome.
our dear friend Jolo. We love
Jolo True.
Yeah, Jolo True.
In the first Pitch Perfect, Jolo True and I had a extra, additional kind of beef. It was nice. He was telling me to do all this really weird stuff to him, and I was politely declining, as my character would. Like, I don't want to fight, and he's just like, "Come on, man, stick this trophy in my ass." Like, it was my favorite day.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because I was just reacting to him.
He's a brilliant improviser. There's a basketball game in junior high that apparently changes your life, or rather after the game, which leads you to being in a production of Godspell at 14, 15? 14.
This must have been like on the cusp of 13 and 14.
Right. I myself was in Godspell.
Yes, who'd you play?
Apparently, this show's been around for
Oh, yeah.
100 years. Though there's a famous Canadian version that Gilda Radner was in, and Paul Schaefer, and all a bunch of
I'm
people.
sure that was genius, because those parables can be
Yeah.
either really bad or pretty brilliant.
Yeah. Were you Jesus?
I was Jesus.
Well, he was a fantastic Jew.
Then I went back to Stage Door Manor, and I played Judas. So I've seen it. I've seen that story from both sides. Oh yeah,
From both sides now.
yeah. But here's the thing about that. My mother was telling me about this audition in the town over,
Right.
for weeks. It was on every, like, we have this place called Seatown, which is our grocery store, and it's there, come audition, guys. They're just trying to get some dude to come out there. And I show up, because my mom bribed me with a nice meal in that neighboring town, and
Oh, boy.
I thought we were going to be late. Did not realize that things run late in this industry. So I was like, this is perfect. I'm not even going to make it, and I'm going to get this amazing Italian meal. I show up, they're wrapping up, and they see me in a basketball uniform, didn't have a change of clothes.
Sure.
Literally looking like Zac Efron in High School Musical. Not looking as good looking as him, but looking as his character did, because apparently that's the plot of High School Musical.
That he goes everywhere in his
He's
uniform?
he's a basketball player who they get to do the musical.
Gotcha.
But this story went way before Zach, so pretty sure they copied it. Pretty sure I'm owed some royalties on that franchise.
Yeah.
So I went in there, sang Happy Birthday, and by default,
No, you
since
didn't.
I was a guy,
Your
sure
audition
did.
was not singing Happy Birthday.
Sure did. They asked for Happy Birthday. And, because I was completely unprepared. I didn't know. I had played piano since I was 5, and I sang the Friends theme. That was like my thing. That was my party trick. So
I'll
no
be there
one
for you by the
told
Rembrandts. Sorry.
Jeez.
She's on a multi-award winning trivia team. We should have probably.
Dewey Decimal System, if I ever heard one.
Why
That's
didn't you?
is that the right thing, libraries? Dewey Decimal
Card
System?
catalogs, Dewey Decimal System.
There you go. I went right to you for that now. I'm like, what is that called?
Microfiche?
So yeah, I went in there and they were like, well, if you don't have anything, just sing Happy Birthday. And I'm like, oh, come on, that's so lame. So I got halfway through Happy Birthday until I realized that I knew this song by Stephen Schwartz. Didn't even know the same composer as Godspell from Pippin, called Corner of the Sky.
Oh.
Lovely song. Rivers belong where they can, of course, ramble. And I knew that because my sister, who is still 9 years younger than me, she was a baby at the time, and she would listen to these Broadway kids cassettes.
Oh, sure.
So I used to mimic all the voices, and I would do it for her. So I knew a couple. I knew Jellicle Cats. I had a little repertoire, I guess. And I realized in that moment, I actually know a couple theater songs. Of course, the brilliant the brilliant musical director was like, listen, I'm a musical director. I know how to play Corner of the Sky. Couple chord progressions. So we did that. I sang a little bit of Corner of the Sky, probably messed up on a lyric or two. They had me do a parable as Jesus, and I was probably horrific, but since I was a guy, I got the role and had to quit the basketball team.
Oh.
And how did the fellow players on the basketball team feel about that?
Well, they broke out into song, just like in High School Musical. I think they were probably...
I can't believe you're quitting!
Yeah,
You're quitting!
Yeah. Thought that we were all in this together. That's actually a song from High School Musical
Elbow
that
patches.
I embarrassingly know.
Elbow patches.
We have been elbow patches, and you have not been. Thank you so much. So they did not break out into song, disappointingly so. But
Fuckers.
I don't think they cared, man.
No.
I wasn't that good at basketball. I wasn't that good. If it was baseball,
You were a
I
ball
would've-
hog, let's be honest.
Yeah, if I ever got on the court. I don't think our coach liked my religion very much, actually.
Where did you go to school?
Just ask my mother. Well, I went in Rockland County, New York, where there's, heavily populated.
Plenty of Jews in Rockland County.
Yeah, we run that town. But no, there was an Irish cop who
Was the basketball coach?
yeah. I'm not gonna
Rash
say his
Epstein.
name.
I'm not sure we're going to play
yeah.
him today. that Irish
No, he got it. Yeah, this. He's been hoarse since he was like spring break of like his 1989, and he. I don't think. I mean, I think that's what my mother
Yeah.
said.
Well, let's count the great Jewish NBA stars together right now. We begin with...
Amari Stoudemire. Oh, can't convert. You can't convert.
Can't convert.
Okay.
Maravich?
No.
It's gotta be.
Be the one.
Gotta be the one.
Mordecai Parker.
Mordecai something.
See? The joke becomes real. Who is it?
Joey Jewington.
All right, you go back to this. Someone again on it.
Daniel Maccabee, I believe.
That's right.
Played for the Rockets.
Oh, Danny Mac.
Yeah.
Danny McAfee.
Well, they just ended up calling him Daymac, but you know.
Okay, so I imagine your fans are going to want to hear a little bit about the Pitch Perfect experience.
Yes.
I first want to talk about your love of Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh boy, do I love it.
Yeah.
I do love it so much.
We've had a few of the kids from the thing on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy was involved in the live read at Sketchfest. No?
Well, he's a voice in the actual film.
Well, that I know for sure. But I remember you being.
Oh yeah, I was there too.
Yeah, that's what I
reprising
meant.
my own role from the original.
So the kid who does the news, the camp news,
Oh, yeah.
The PA announcer, the radio DJ.
is
yeah.
actually the voice of Sam Levine.
That makes so much sense in my head. And I've become better now that, of noticing looping in ADR, and I can actually tell that there was a little hiccup there.
No, it was flawless.
No, he means the actor wasn't using his own voice. Or the-
You're perfect.
Thank you. No, I'm saying is
He just can't pull off your buttery tenor.
Yeah, you're very sweet. And I don't feel bad because that was the one and only acting role that kid ever did. So it was clear to me from that at least. It was like, I don't think he really wanted to be an actor.
Sure.
He was like 9.
Does he reprise his role in the new Resurgence?
No, because as you well know, it's been 15 years now.
Sure.
So all of the counselors are reprising their roles.
Got
all
it.
of the campers, they hired actual young people.
Got it.
Because if they'd hire the real campers, then it would be too weird.
Unless if they've become famous, then of course they have cameos.
Yeah. To my knowledge,
Is the entire Workaholics cast in it, just like they were in the Arrested Development reboot?
it's a good question. I don't know.
They should just be in every reboot.
I don't
Just
know.
playing, just Adam, Blake, and Durs.
Yeah.
What's the matter? Did everyone get upset? Did I do something wrong? Am I fired from the lake?
Things
was
were
trying to
going
find-
so well.
You're like, no, Daniel Radcliffe just said yes. Oh, how are we going to tell him?
I've got it at Sandy
Man, that
Koufax.
was premature.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm glad you brought it up
Yeah.
because I was just so awkward figuring out how to.
Had a transition there?
We do
fine.
have a thing on the show called Tweet 5.
Hit it.
Now you see the graphic would make sense. Dave Keckner. They come to us from Twitter.
Okay.
These are. I should probably let the theme play. Okay.
Dolph Shays.
Dolph Shays.
Yep. Played in the 50s. Jewish, Romanian Jew.
Romanian
Oh
Jew
my
played
God.
it in the NBA in the
NBA.
50s.
NBA 50s, 60s.
So it's been 60 years.
It's been a while.
So
Look,
with great
been a while.
Wi-Fi in 2015, it took 6.5 minutes to find a Jew. So I think the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen.
Point made.
Yeah.
This comes from the Twitterverse as Nat is bringing in the water. At Christopher_H. Christopher
Yes.
with a K and an F, to be clear. These are rapid fire,
Okay.
5 questions. They're this or that, Coke or Pepsi, no correct answer, just the one you choose.
Okay.
That's the nature of the question.
Rapid fire.
But they're designed specifically for you,
Okay. I can get in trouble this way.
technically.
Thank God we're not live.
Harvard or 3P?
Oh man.
These are all Sophie choices, by the way. That's the,
Yeah, that's
they like this-
horrible. And do I get any amount of passes?
No. You have to choose. Gun to your head.
It was I will say, and I'm going to have to be long-winded on some of these.
Please.
Because I have to be
By the
diplomatic
way,
and I have to
you
be.
can.
Yes, okay. The rules aren't someone's just off camera with a gun. Oh, I didn't even realize that's what this was about. So I'll say 3-peat.
Because
Because our scenes I enjoyed a little bit more because we got to yes-and each other a little bit more. Whereas with Harvard, played by the phenomenal Rory Scovel, it was a lot of, I would stop dead in my tracks and he would always walk up to me very slow with a, well, turns out that, and it was always a little bit of a pause when we're doing it in front of a live audience.
Right.
So I think it was just, Renee and I, we were so quick together. Since we were yes-ending, it was almost, it always ended up in it being some sort of a dance party by the end of the scene, and that always made it.
Sure.
So it was very exciting. So I'd say 3-peat, just because he was his best friend.
you're allowed twice as much as that answer
Okay.
on this next one, if you need.
Okay, Jesus.
No pressure at all. Musical or sitcom?
Musical sitcom.
You're gonna combine them for an answer?
Why not?
Sure.
Oh, like Viva Laughlin.
Yeah,
And
that's what he
wasn't
meant.
Fame one? And Cop Rocks?
Cop Rock.
Rock, rock.
Botchko. Cop Rock.
Musical sitcom,
Not
and
a
done
comedy, though.
done not in that cheap way where it's
No.
like let's make that guy sing a couple times.
No.
Not that we ever did that on Ground Floor, but sometimes I was like, if we do one more thing where my character sings, I think it might be a little bit. We got to be careful here.
Illegal.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, because I did not sign up for that. So, but if I did sign up for that, it would be effing spectacular. Make it happen.
Correct answer. Hong Kong or Paris?
This is all Ground Floor related. Hong Kong implies. Well, just I'll go on city. I'll take Ground Floor out of it. Paris.
Come on.
City of
Why does
Lovers.
ground floor have to be involved?
I don't know, because that was Sophie's choice at the end of season 1, which I know you binge watched in preparation for hiring your new lead of your movie. Is there something?
First of all, Helene?
Briga Heelan.
Sure, Briga Heelan. Briga Heelan or Anna Kendrick? There's no correct answer.
They're both fiction.
Why would people do this?
They're both fiction.
Well,
They're both fiction in terms of my character's choices.
I think they mean these are two people.
Yeah.
You have to choose. One of them is going to die.
Oh my goodness.
But no, not that severe. One of them you're going to see walk through the door next.
I gotta play the fifth on this one. I'll get in a lot of trouble.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Spring Awakening or Rent?
Spring Awakening.
Come on, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
No,
I did it for way too long. It had so much of an influence on my life. And Rent, I did at the Hollywood Bowl for a wonderful weekend.
Right.
And it was a
Is
shot
that
out
Neil
of
Patrick
cannon.
Harris
Yes, he
directed?
directed that. And it was lovely. I wish that I didn't just get to rent the role. Symbols aren't even working on this table.
It's weird.
But yeah, because I only got to play it for like a weekend, and I wish I got to breathe in that role a little bit more.
Right. Dr. Chen, can you just make sure the guy in the alleyway there outside the West Side Comedy Theater
Oh, no, that's my
is
bodyguard.
just urinating and not masturbating? I can't quite tell.
Hey, good news. Dolph Shays had a kid, Danny Shays, who also played in the NBA
Is that
in
all
the
you're
90s.
gonna do for the
That's
rest
not
of the
true.
show?
True.
Who did he play for?
True. I'll tell you right now. He played for the Lakers.
The Golden State Thrashers.
81
damn
to
it. See, that's not
99,
even-
man.
Okay.
You are a ridiculous sports fan, though, according to the interview with Rich Eisen.
Mm-hmm.
So, folks, if you want to know more about that, dial up Rich Eisen.
Jazz, Nuggets, Bucks, Lakers, Suns, Heat, Magic. That's quite a career,
Was it
Danny
just
Shays.
Oh, so he was
Urinating
really important to each franchise, apparently.
You're in the new season of *Halt and Catch Fire*?
Sure. Nobody knows that. We're breaking news. I sure am. Episodes 8, 9, and 10 of the season.
Did yourself a little 3-show arc.
Yeah, sure did.
3-ep arc?
3-ep arc. And they're the last episodes of the season, so he has a little bit of. I always find on those 10-episode things, like a Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I feel like those 8th, 9th, and 10th are good episodes to be on. A
Yeah.
lot of shit goes down.
I have yet to meet anyone else who's seen the show.
I know.
I got hooked in.
Oh,
I
you're
got,
on
I got
it.
dialed in. We had,
Well, because didn't it come on after Mad Men or something?
it came
did.
on after
And that's
Mad
when it
Men, and I
was-
just kind of hung in there one week, and I went, oh, this is fucking awesome.
It's great.
And then, the strongest man in the world,
Oh, Toby Huss?
Toby Huss, a former guest of this show,
Mm-hmm.
someone we've loved for a long time, and he's great in it.
Yeah.
And in a part that he doesn't get a chance to play
Yeah.
often.
Scoot McNairy and Lee Pace. It's a phenomenal cast.
It's crazy with the cast.
It's you know what? They will tell you if you talk to them, word on set, is that once they watched everything back, they're like, we took our time a little bit in the first half of season 1. We could have been a little bit more action packed. And I think it really heats up at the end of season 1.
It did.
And I think and this season is like
I highly
pretty
recommend
balls
it.
out.
I really do.
It's pretty great. You'll get to see me in donning some 80s clothing, some 80s hair.
Well, that's one of the reasons I thought my better half, Jamie, might like it. She enjoys a period piece.
I do enjoy
It and it is a
And
period.
sweet 80s, for fuck's sake.
I got
Easily
puff
my favorite
poofy hair. I got pleats, and I got
Poofy shirt,
Pop collar?
pads, shoulder
Oh,
pads.
shoulder pads.
So pads, poof, pleats. 3
No
Ps.
pop
So,
collar.
if I may,
Right.
another great name of an improv.
Yeah.
group. They just keep coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm full of ideas.
We're 3-up arc. Good night.
Yeah, we're 3 at 5.
I'm writing this down.
Wow. We can at least name them. We could christen.
This is funny because I had to help come up with some improv team names recently, and I was not being helpful at all. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, these are all great ones.
These are fantastic. Write it
Somebody
down.
once asked me to come up with a name for a 4-girl improv group. And I said, you really have to ask? She said, what is it? And I said, 16 Lips. Good night.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah. No, that actually makes me very uncomfortable, and I'm pretty I go there. That makes me. I just don't like lips. I don't like the lips of it all.
Sam is choking himself out. By the way,
Oh,
Sam
it's-
is choking himself out with red-faced laughter.
I'm
We should
still
probably.
so proud of that to
Yeah.
this day.
No matter what, you created a profound effect on me. No matter what it is, I'm really embarrassed. I don't even know why.
Here's a great transition.
I'm tickled
Yeah, so
pink.
pitch perfect.
Yes. We could have. You could have been way worse with that transition. I'm glad you held back.
Let's the origin story. I'm always curious how something that becomes such a juggernaut the world over.
Yes.
The little acorn. So how does it begin for you? Your own experience.
My own experience was just an audition on tape with Jason Moore, who I knew. I knew Jason Moore when I was 15 years old. I did a performance of Les Miserables in New York,
Sure.
and he directed it.
At somebody's house
No, on the Broadway.
on the Broadway.
It was a special finale performance when they were initially closing before the 2 revivals that have happened since. And he was their resident director at the time, big booming, right before Avenue Q happened for him and all this great stuff. And so it was 10 years later, I was 25 and I was going in for this, new a cappella musical and musical movie. And I went and I did a couple scenes of Jesse, and I sang a little bit of Bill Withers' Lean on Me a cappella.
So you did not go with Happy Birthday.
So I did not go. Yes, my repertoire has become more sophisticated since then.
Was Lean on Me your idea?
Yes, it was. It's actually what we used to sing in our high school musical before we would go out and do Guys and Dolls or How to Succeed. We would all get in the circle in the choir room and just times in our lives. And it was always the character actor who would start it because he was the senior who ran the theater program. So he was always like, come on everybody, some times in our lives. And I was like, who's gonna pick the key here? Because I'm the music guy. So so I went with that, stayed in tune.
Sure.
Didn't
Didn't get pitchy?
get pitchy, didn't even need the pipe. My pitch was perfect, had to. And then I didn't hear anything back for well over a month.
Wow.
Went on to do a little film called 21 and Over with Miles Teller, second time mentioning that on the show. And was leading my first feature film. It was so exciting, on location in Seattle on a college campus. And then I got a phone call saying that there are 2 big contenders since I initially went in early on Pitch Perfect, that they are ready to make the offer to but they have to chemistry read with Anna Kendrick. Now, you can either decline and be awesome and hope 21 and Over is the hangover of the new generation.
Same writers.
Same writers of The Hangover, so that was the word. Or you could spend your own money on your JetBlue credit card that you just got, and go and
Your
fly
agents knew
out.
that you got the JetBlue credit?
Yeah, they were all about it. Oh, I bragged about it for a while.
Sure.
First credit card, y'all. I did this dance. By the way, since I've moved on from the JetBlue credit card, doesn't give you a lot of JetBlue points. So disappointing. Anyway.
Great sidebar. though.
Yeah. My brother, Milan, was actually in town visiting me on my first awesome movie set in Seattle. And he gave me the whole speech, you got to go, man.
You have no choice.
You got to go.
Yeah.
And you got to spend, at that time it was $585 after taxes. And I was just that's so much money.
After taxes, said the Jew.
Said the Jew, literally. $585.60. So I go, I do it, I'm driving, I'm in the car in Venice. I feel so bad that my brother is 300 miles north, in my hotel room being this is fun. You know what I mean? But I think he managed.
Having sent you.
Yes, exactly. And he gave me the whole speech, like, dude, you got to pull the robbery, man. They want these other guys, and they don't even remember you. You got to go in there, you got to lay it on thick. You got to just like
What a
be
great
that
older
guy.
brother.
He was wonderful, and he's younger too, which is crazy.
Yeah, sorry.
no, it's fine. He's gonna be so upset.
Jace was the older one.
Jace is
Gotcha,
older.
gotcha.
Milan's younger. So I'm right in the middle.
Sure.
So yeah, went in there, laid it on thick, and went back to Seattle. Who knows? And I got the call, and I flew straight from Seattle to Baton Rouge to film the first one.
No break in between.
No
so
break.
You kind of felt like a movie star already.
For that was, you want to like momentum, as they say.
Yeah.
That was like the most momentum I've ever had. I was like, look at this, set to set. Who am I? What is this? And then this starts happening again. And basically, yeah, it was funny because the second AD was, giving me the rundown and like, it's great, man. We're already here. I was late to Pitch Perfect. So I was like that guy who came like 2 weeks late in the pre-production rehearsal choreography. I have to catch up with all this stuff now.
Putting your luggage in the lockers while
Totally.
the actors are lined up
Totally.
with lockers. That's how America pictures
Coming
it.
off of a night shoot too, so I'm like, oh man, I'm all, and just so many excuses that I had in my back pocket.
Yeah.
So, but he was like, oh, this is great. We're on LSU. We're on a college campus. It's great. I'm literally looking around on University of Washington's campus, being like, yeah, no, that sounds fun. Yeah, I've been doing that for 2 months already. I'm kind of like done with being on a college campus, the novelty of it at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, but then it turned into this humongous thing, and our pre-production was like this a cappella boot camp, like they like to call it. It's just rehearsal. And we learned the
Just like on
moves and-
Platoon. Or,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, let's save boot camp for boot camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah. Because I remember I'd always read about on Saving Private Ryan. that
Sure.
They were very strict. Spielberg was very strict about everyone going to an actual boot camp. So
but-
yours was clearly just like that.
That's a dream of mine too, as an actor, to do some sort of a.
See Vin Diesel in the mud?
Listen, man, if I could just get one glimpse of Vin. Anyone have an image of Vin Diesel in the mud?
Sammy?
Come on.
I'll
No,
sketch one
I've
for you
always
real
wanted to. I love the excuse of it's for a movie,
Yeah.
getting in great shape or having to
That's very good.
Yeah.
Because
late bloomer.
you've got 17 days of only protein shakes. I hope that's okay.
I'm gonna lean out. I could do it. I could do it every time I do a movie. I get a little
Do you get a little?
pull the trigger. No, I'm kidding. No, I just I was so insensitive. No, it's no, I just listen. I get it here and I get it here. I know. So I got to make sure that I'm svelte for the camera.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mess up this opportunity. Are we allowed to say who else is attached to?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
It's way cooler.
How do you feel about shaving 4 times a day for the first?
I'm gonna do it.
For the first act stuff.
It happened. I like doing it at the last minute too, because like the morning, like actually getting a nice so it doesn't give me a lot of irritation.
Sure.
And then you get the real close shave too, and then
Right.
you feel like Every time I play a way younger person, like in Pitch Perfect 2, I had to go back, and I loved showing up to the airport where the PA is just like, this guy's gonna play college again? Jesus, because I'm like at this point.
Yeah.
And then I show up on day 1 and I'm fresh face, and
You ever get a straight razor shave?
I've done it. It makes me uncomfortable.
Do you do it yourself or you get
No,
somebody to do it?
no, I
Yeah.
can never. But
Made you uncomfortable.
Because you've
I
seen a
don't-
Western where the guy gets cut?
Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street, come on.
Yeah,
I'm
but
too versed in
but
musical
it is-
theater to get a straight shave.
But it is simply the closest best shave you'll ever have.
It's cool, but you know what? When I did, I went to one of the good ones, and I had irritation. Same spot I always get it, right where my hair starts to do a million different things.
I can't even watch people in movies get a straight razor
Oh.
shave. I'm like, nope, they're gonna get nicked. Yeah.
Scary. Don't like it.
Don't care for it.
I want to do that. I always my hand always. Let me get. I'll go. Let me do. I don't want you to. A blade at my throat.
Straight razor.
Straight razor. You like it though. You're one of those people that gets the menthol and you do the whole thing. And
No
it's exciting.
menthol,
Okay.
but I do like a good lather.
I'm not afraid to say that I go to Floyd's to have
Yeah.
what's left of my hair cut. And the one time they said, do you want to shave? And I said, I got some time, sure.
Sure.
2 hours later, he was
Oh,
done. What the
man.
fuck is happening?
Oh man. And they fuck up your whole hairdo too if you got it, because they do this whole mummy wrap on your face. You get off, you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Your hair. you're
George
like, oh,
Raff from
guys, I had-
1937 all of a sudden. What's happening over here?
All your product is just in your eye, crusted over, but you got a great shave.
Oh, buddy. So then there's the rehearsal, the boot camp rehearsal.
Right.
And that's when you guys are all finding sort of chemistries and timing and,
Yes.
and what have yous.
And we were recording, so that when we shoot it, we'll have playback of ourselves actually singing. So that it was in this little Baton Rouge.
And are those recordings used for the soundtrack, the ultimate
We
soundtrack?
then
Or you have to
polished
go
them a little bit, but you'd be very surprised. It's about, for my songs I can only vouch for, I'd say 88% of it is already taken care of in that little Baton Rouge State Building where we record it with the little, blankets on the walls.
And this is before you've done any acting, really, the pre-records, right?
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
So you've just finding your characters.
Absolutely.
Still, and 80% of it is spot on, perfect. Let's put that on the album.
Yeah, for the most part. Thankfully, you're not like matching any real acting because it's your actor's performance.
Right.
And what I liked about that is we were never singing about our day. It was not like one of those true musicals where it advances plot, really. It was just kind of like, as Bring It On used cheerleading, it was just used in competition.
Right.
So we got to really be silly and commit and not have to be too earnest, except for the ending,
Sure.
which is the best
The
part.
thing about the lip syncing in the motion pictures, I find that most actors will use a little too much tongue to enunciate the words they're trying to recreate when they fake.
Just sing, man. That's
Yeah.
my thing. Just sing.
Yeah.
Your vein will do the thing. Your like weird jaw will. You can't look too good. You can't be belting out a note and look like you're, you know what I mean? You're just like you're just keeping your mouth hanging open.
Yeah.
No, you gotta like there's things that happen when you sing. I'm always singing. It'd be very embarrassing if those mics were live because it's like the fakest singing because it's like air conservation singing.
Okay.
So it's just, probably like a mix of chest voice to insecure voice. Just like, all love's gonna get you down. Say love, all love. You know what I mean? That would just be horrifying. Which is really bad, by the way, because, they do those Britney Spears leaked things from the soundboard,
Sure.
if you've ever heard them.
Linda McCartney, there was a horrible.
It's horrible
Yeah.
because if you know you're being taken care of, the sound guy will say, do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
And then that asshole's going over to TMZ. And yeah, of course Slave for You is gonna sound like shit when you know that you gotta handle the snake and this is the second priority. Come on, that's horrifying. Shame on you, guy.
Yeah.
Bothers me.
Filming begins.
Way too real.
No.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal.
Okay.
Yeah. This is exactly what fans of the movie want to hear.
Good.
To be honest with you. Don't you think?
Oh yeah. Anything that's just honest and candid.
Right.
And something that they have not known previously. There's so much that's been talked about, and you know what I mean? So I try to always say
Well,
something.
that's the other thing is, did you do the press junket for Pitch Perfect first? Because I know 21 and Over came out after.
It sure did.
Yeah. So was Pitch Perfect your first huge press tour?
Yes.
As a motion picture star?
Yes.
And how was that? Because those can be, they don't really train you. They just, the train is moving so quickly down the tracks. You've had to hire a publicist. The studio's got a publicist, but they're never going to give you enough attention, so you got to get your own. All these things start to work in tandem and not, and you just want to keep moving forward, and you can't sort of believe it's all happening. Also, geez, this really is going well.
Yeah.
Not this little movie we shot in Baton Rouge, but now people actually seem to give a shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, some of this stuff is happening that people said might.
Sure. I think the cool part about that is that it wasn't an overnight success. It really grew, especially the first one. The second one had high expectations and it even surpassed them. But the first one, it didn't do astronomically well at the box office.
Right.
It was only when they got to get the DVD and it started playing on HBO and pay cable. So it was kind of nice for me
I
because
saw it in theaters.
you saw it in theaters. Well,
I
thank
did.
you.
And I have a little story because I kind of I took my niece as I was embarrassed, should I want to see this movie?
Sure,
But I
sure.
really did. So I took I got to take my niece. That's why I'm going. And
Right.
she and I are like, this is really good, right? This is a really good movie. This is working on
You
all
wouldn't
these
shut up about it,
levels.
I remember.
Yeah, and I'm not a Glee fan or I hate all my friends who are really super musical theatery because they're
Yeah.
fucking annoying. But
Yeah. I hate my friends. I should get new ones.
I'm just realizing that now.
Yeah.
but just when they act like that. But no, it works on so many levels.
Well, it's
great.
fascinating because back to, and I will not spend too much time on this, but back to the whole UFC of it all, I went to a fight to promote 21 and over because that was coming out later, and I had fighters, Clay Matthews at the time, who's now in the second one, weirdly enough.
Right.
Dana White, who's the president of the UFC, who I watch all of his post-press conference scrums, and I'm all immersed as a fan, and they're all coming to me, you know, saying how much they love the movie, and it's the same story, and I pretend like it's the first thing, you know, dude, I didn't even want to, man. My wife or my daughter, my girlfriend, someone of the female gender dragged me to it, and something. Now I watch it every time it's on HBO. It's infectious. I love it, man.
Yeah.
When's the sequel coming out? And that was really cool also. I think the reason why, back to the whole press of it all, like I didn't become an asshole because of it, is because I think growing up doing theater is a very humbling experience, and I also think that since it didn't become an overnight huge success, and I never really believe anything, and I'm also of the same thought process of like, great, now what does this mean?
Right.
And I'm never going to get caught up in all of whatever that is. I want it to land somewhere. I want to get the next role. I want to do the next thing. I want to grow. Now, you know, now what is my next challenge? What's my next goal? So like, I guess that will help.
Not think about it.
Yeah, and a good upbringing. You know what I mean? I had great parents, and I.
Well, also, let's not. You know, we didn't go too much into the Spring Awakening, but it was a ginormous smash hit on Broadway.
Yeah,
I mean, just truly ridiculous.
That's so true. I think that
Tony Award winning and.
You know what's fascinating, and I'm actually kind of thinking about it now, it's almost like it was words like phenomenon and once in a generation a musical comes along that blah, blah, blah. That was some quote somewhere. Won 8 Tonys, you know, Grammys, all these things, and we were the Beatles on 49th Street, the coolest people ever. But it was great perspective because then I would ride the subway home because I'm making a theater salary. No one would know who I was, and especially when I came out here and started taking general meetings with casting directors, you know, and their biggest thing right at the top is Spring Awakening, you know, original cast member and all this
Spring
stuff.
Awakening, so what is that?
Yeah. Oh, it was a show. Oh, it was a show I did in New York.
You sold out a few performances?
Yeah. And then this is the best one. Oh, cool, Spring Awakening. Yeah, it was a show I did in New York. No, I know it. What network was it on?
Oh, Bob.
Oh, boy. Oh, not even that kind of show at all. So, you know, they think it's you know, I mean, it was wonderful to have that dose of reality of, yeah, you're 3,000 miles away from your hit, kiddo. So in a way, it was like, okay, so even Pitch Perfect, like, what does that mean? That's fleeting. It's amazing, and I hope it lasts forever, and I do 3, 4, 5, 6, all of them. But eventually, I want roles like The Late Bloomer and other challenges. I have things in development that are more dramatic. You know what I mean? It's like I want to do my last role when I'm 80. So I'm definitely not going to now start showing up to the MTV, you know, like some red carpets, and I'm like a flavor of what my character was, and I'm trying to be this persona, not this person. And that works a lot of time even for like comedians. Like I remember when Jim Carrey went to the MTV Movie Awards like in this crazy character.
Right.
It was like, oh my God, that was hilarious. Will Ferrell gets away with it a lot.
Sure.
But you know, I do comedy, but I'm also an actor.
Sure.
Breaking
said
news,
that, didn't it?
Skylar Astin confirms Pitch Perfect 3 through 6.
Probably shouldn't have. You should have whispered it.
Yeah.
Then no one would have. Another callback.
Oh, I'm
We've
sorry,
had
was
17 today.
Well, you know what's so funny about we mentioned the press junkets.
Yes.
The reason why you have in front of you that you know all about my karaoke problems is because that was all they'd ask. What's your favorite karaoke song? They get a list, so they ask the same. You're asked the same questions for 12 hours, for 2 12-hour days, and this time around it's all about the third.
Yes.
What is Pitch Perfect 3? And you can only deflect with the let's do it in space and let's do Fast and the Furious style where we're driving cars out of planes singing a cappella. But the truth of the matter is I have no clue and nobody does.
No.
And it's kind of getting a little like, not annoying, but I keep saying the same thing. I guarantee you, people, or or Entertainment Tonight or whatever, you will know before I do.
Right.
Because it's not
I like that you said that in one of the research pieces, because that is getting to the heart of the matter. You'll know before I do, so why are you asking me?
It's really the truth,
You know
though.
I don't know.
Maybe Rebel,
Right.
she'll know.
Right.
She's like kind of contingent with that whole thing, you know, and Anna Kendrick, you know what I mean? Like I'm a big part of it, but they're not, you know, and it's great and it's wonderful. I have a good relationship with those producers and those people, and I actually saw them just the other day, I presented Elizabeth Banks with an award, and I saw all the people, and it was great because I didn't ask them. And it came up, by the way.
Sure.
And guess what? Here's the update. Still no clue.
Yeah.
They
We're working
spoke
on a
in-
strip. We're trying to break down the
Yeah,
story.
there's so many ways we can go. So
Yeah.
don't tell me all of them because it's probably not even going to be any of them.
Right.
You know, so it was all vague, and you know, and I hope that if I'm not a part of it, I'll at least support the hell out of it because I'm just such a fan of it.
Well, it is about the next thing. Everything we do is about the next thing at some
right.
point.
Absolutely.
And now it's just a matter of finding the right opportunities. And here's hoping the one we do together.
oh boy,
Huh?
I'm excited.
Set the world on fire? Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Totally fucking
I'm
ready.
excited. By the way, here's what I've been saying to people.
Yeah, what
and,
have you been saying? How excited you are to work with me.
I was like, this guy Kevin Pollak's doing it. You ever see The Usual Suspects? Or Usual Suspects 2, which is even better than the first.
This time it's personal?
Yeah. I had to know. I can't beat that. Okay. So I've been saying it's a mix between
Ah, yes.
everyone's favorite thing to do when they're pitching something.
Yeah.
You got any?
It's like so-and-so
40-year-old
meets so-and-so. 40-year-old virgin meets
Something that needs to.
Just one of the guys.
just one of the guys.
Well, I was thinking there's shades of Teen Wolf in the horrifying nature.
Well,
of
there
it.
is a transformation, but let's leave Teen Wolf out of the conversation.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I don't know the.
No. The truth is, this is kind of fun because we haven't had this discussion, and we're
Yeah.
going to have to before we face the marketing machine. We've just been in prep and getting ready to do the damn thing. But
Right.
you know, I just go right to. Could you imagine going through puberty at 30? I mean, that seems to be the thing that dials certainly men into the horrific nature of what puberty was.
Yeah.
And not knowing what's wrong with me my entire life, but also finding a way to remove it from my daily thought process. I mean, this guy got to be 30, PhD. He's written a book that's got him a TED Talk and on Terry Gross. I've never fucking been on Terry Gross. It's not an
No.
easy gig to get.
No, and a lot of his, you know, what he says is that it's because I haven't had the distractions of sex.
Yeah. So when I tell people, I just say it's a guy who gets.
Yeah.
But in the first act, we get to know and care about everyone first before the hijinks of
Sure.
what that means for someone to go through. And also, I'm really been trying to focus everyone's attention on this actually fucking happened.
Oh, I know. Well, there's a really great thing that happens right at the very top of the movie where it says based on a true story. No, actually, for real, this fucking happened. And it's very clever.
I wrote all of that.
I know, but you didn't. Legally, you didn't.
Well, first of all, when I say
Yes,
I'm just being an asshole taking credit for these
Sure.
other people's work.
that you changed.
Yeah. No, seriously, this fucked up shit really happened to this guy,
Yeah.
and he's okay with us telling you most of it.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to, I wanted to play with, this is based on a true story, but also let you know from the beginning, we're going to have some fun with this.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things also is whether it comes from a book, which in this case, technically it came from a book.
Yes.
But you at some point you have a story to tell, you know, and God forbid it should be hilarious, but also emotionally engaging, and you know that's what we're going to go for.
Sure.
I'm excited as hell, my friend, about us
Me
rolling up our
too.
sleeves for the.
Step ahead of you, bro.
Hey!
Look at
Look
this.
who's got the sleeves
We've
rolling.
been elbow
By the
pads.
way, elbow pads.
He doesn't even
Grungy
have
Gentleman
long
is after
sleeves.
us.
He's got short sleeves on. He's got them
I
on.
roll
yeah.
these up. It's a different movie.
That's a different kind of gun show.
Yes, it is. You know what it is? It's an old gun show.
Well, there you go. Hold. Not buffering. Initializing.
The non-buffering gag doesn't work if someone's talking, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
totally fucking with you. This show is so, the fans are so, by the way, 80% of them are audio only. They don't understand what the fuck we're even talking about
Okay,
when I say
right.
not buffering. I mean, they do, but I get people still writing me tweets and emails and stuff saying, fucker, you got me again. Every now and then
Yeah.
it'll happen. By the way, folks, write to us at contact@kevinpollakschatro.com. That's contact@kevinpollakschatro.com. Let us know how you do the show. We got a question in from the chat room, live from across the West Side Comedy Theater. Joe Smith, who writes, how was Elizabeth Banks as a first-time director?
Ooh, that's a
Fantastic
great
actor.
one. That's a great. She's a fantastic actress.
Yes.
She
Just enjoyed her in the Love and Mercy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get that.
Didn't-
Auditioned. I wasn't Beach Boys enough. You know what I mean? If it was like
You're saying
"Yeah,
Brian
the
Wilson
Beach
wasn't a Jew?
Boys." Oh, was he?
Nope.
Yeah. And Paul Dano did it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
And
he's great.
Yeah. He is great.
Yeah.
And no, the performances were extraordinary.
Sure.
Maybe edit 30 minutes out.
Yeah.
But tell me about.
So Elizabeth was like Elizabeth was totally seamless. It's
She
really
produced the first one.
Yeah, she was lead producer.
Because
People are
she
now
developed
becoming.
the material.
She optioned the book. This was her baby from the get-go,
Okay.
and they brought on Jason Moore to direct it, who did a phenomenal job, and I love Jason.
Sure.
Second one, I think he was busy or something, but I think she decided she's going to do it, and it was like a really awesome, great announcement. Everyone's excited about it. How's this going to be? And it's weird because I still like. I can't even put my finger on how weirdly informal it was.
Yeah.
Like she's become a friend now,
Sure.
obviously, and we talk a certain way, and I have a feeling that like she may have directed me differently than maybe she directed Rebel, differently than she directed Hannah, Anna, and everyone else, because she just talks to me and she's like, just, you know, like. She knows that she can
Casual.
only be earnest with me long enough before we start making fun of the thing.
Sure.
So she'll just be like,
I'm
just,
sensing that also.
Yeah,
I get that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And she'll be, I mean, listen, if I had to, we actually did one scene that didn't even make the film, and it was it was a really nice moment where Jesse says goodbye to Becca, and it's this thing that didn't make it. But that was serious, and that was like, of course, we could shake it off. But when it's just like some silly party scene, she'll be like, just stand there and just be adorable and stand there and say your line, right? And then we'll play, right? You know what I mean? And then she goes and she calls it off from the thing, and it was a blast. It was
Right.
really, really low-key and informal, and like exactly kind of what I thought.
Sure.
Because I was like, I can't imagine that she's going to be all serious now, and she wasn't.
Yeah.
She made it look easy, too.
Yeah.
She had a good crew.
I'm going to do my damnedest to make it look easy. My thing after being in a couple of years of movies is if you're not having fun, there's really no fucking point. And not in a trite cliche way, but seriously, there's no point.
Yeah.
And I'm ingraining that in the producers and in the line producer and the first AD when I was doing the Skypes and choosing a first AD, which is I need to hire you based on how much fun you're going to allow me and the crew and the cast to have.
Yes, while doing your job.
While also being the taskmaster, making sure we get our days and make.
That's one of the hardest roles.
It is.
That's one of the hardest jobs.
It's nearly impossible to do perfectly, because at some point, someone needs to be the father on the set,
100%.
and it can't be me, because I need to maintain my duplicitous nature. No,
Yes.
I need to maintain the UN structure of we're all in this together and we're here to have fun. You should yell at them now,
Yes, exactly.
because we're having too much fun.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm going to talk to you about this thing that you're pitching, but secretly I know that we need this soon, and I have a conference call at lunch. So where are you, guy that's supposed to do all this for
Yeah,
me?
yeah. Listen, this was, by the way, you and I discussed having you on the show before it was official, so that you were in the movie. So first of all, I want to thank you for kind of signing on to what might have been the single most awkward interview we've ever done.
Yeah, I've had enough pilots not get picked up and then thought about that dinner, you
Yeah.
know, that I was supposed to have with that creator.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just a regular dude. You
As
know?
it turns out, me
Yeah.
too. And it'll just be a couple of regular dudes kicking some ass and taking names. But thanks a lot, honestly and truly,
Thank you.
for not so, obviously for this chat, which means a lot to us and to Jamie in particular. During the time of the wild success of the sequel, we rarely do interviews or shows that are sort of designed around someone who's in a current hit or has something to plug or any of that stuff.
Right.
But also for agreeing and about to embark on this crazy fucking journey that, as near total strangers, we're about to jump into this thing together. And as I mentioned before about in one of the emails, I feel like we're sudden partners.
100%.
Yeah, and we're at the precipice, and it's kind of exciting and groovy and scary and all that shit at the same time.
Yeah.
So this was especially helpful, I think, for us just to shoot the shit for a couple of hours.
Well, we were actually supposed to have dinner
Yeah.
last night,
Yeah.
and I'm just kind of heading out of town and all this stuff, and I was like, well, let's just be real narcissistic assholes and get to know each other
On your chat show.
on a live chat show.
Yeah, let's stream it to the world.
Yeah.
In our first informal face-to-face.
I was about to say, yeah, face to face.
Yeah, we'll go to your kitchenette next, though.
It's
If that's all right.
not big.
I mean, you have to go home and pack, right? Are you packed?
I do. I am mostly packed. Toiletries are always last.
Well, Jamie and I are coming over.
Perfect.
We'll help.
Perfect.
Okay.
I gotta say, guys, for the inaugural show of Elbow Patch,
Oh,
It went okay?
I think you did great.
Woo!
I think you did
listen,
great.
guys.
You know.
It has been so great being here with Elbow Patch. Plugging my elbow.
Okay, this last question from the chat room, underlining blue, I think is the name of the poison. I'm not sure if this is an obnoxious question or a perfect question. It's on the borderline.
Okay.
And I'm assuming one you've been asked, but there's some relevance I feel you're gonna shine on this.
Okay.
If you could give your younger self one piece of advice at this point from the future, because it is all about if I knew then what I know now. In certain instances, when you go back, but I also feel like we have these building block moments, and there is no changing how badly I fucked that up before, or what I didn't know about how to judge people on the virtue of their actions instead of the words. You do need to go through that shit.
This is where you have to say something smart, though. You have to say something so great. What I really want to do is make it a bit and be like, you should take the blue pill instead of the red. Come on, guys, Matrix. But
Whenever I'm asked this question in interviews,
yes,
Sure.
help me.
my answer is always the same because there is no way to answer that question.
Sure.
Because the real truth of the matter is, any answer you give to that, it's going to be a very person-specific piece of advice that won't relate in an interview. So when people ask if there's some advice you could give your younger self, now what would it be? And my answer is always, wear the condom.
Right.
Just wear the condom.
Exactly.
You got to go to the joke. The truth of the matter is, a
You
person's
know what?
probably.
The only person that can answer this question is Matthew McConaughey, and we all know that.
Oh, nice, nice.
What is it?
There's the answer.
Because then he was like, I'm going to go back and tell him
Yeah.
to be an Iron
My,
Man
he-
was-
my,
His
who's your
Academy
hero?
Award
My hero was
acceptance
always me
speech.
10 years
Oh,
from now.
yeah.
I think maybe this
Okay,
just
both of
boils.
our jokes didn't land. There, Sam. There we go.
Maybe this really boils down
No,
to.
mine was serious.
This is a youthful person interested in
Yeah.
getting into it. They're a fan. They're an
Sure.
admirer. What advice could you give them?
Yes. Really, if they're an aspiring actor,
Right.
especially, don't second guess yourself so much and just do it. Just do theater. I'm not saying go quit your job and be an actor. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if it's just you're learning about your craft, and it's not specific to anything financial, make the choice to do it, especially if it's theater, because you never know where that's going to lead you. And I don't mean like you're going to meet some famous guy that's going to give you your big break. Experience is everything.
It's everything.
I went to college for 1 year, and I received way more of an education in theater from doing a Broadway show 8 times a week. And I don't know if everything that I did up until that point, and doing the JCCY production of The Pajama Game while I was also doing my high school play, learning how to do 2 things at once helped me when I was on Broadway doing Spring Awakening and then doing workshops during the day and press for this thing. And so don't second guess yourself, and it's a privilege to do what we do. So if you're asked, you should more than likely say yes.
Yeah.
There should be very few instances when you're coming up that you should say no.
Yeah.
Because the favors that I've done and all those things have been blessings for myself.
Yeah. You'll only learn by doing it, and the more you do it, the more you'll learn, and there's no escaping that cliche. There's no you don't want the shortcut.
No, it's not. It won't earn anything for you,
No.
and it will come to haunt you. You'll then be really successful, and then have your first pitfall. Oh man,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that.
No.
That'd be pretty brutal.
It's how you get back up. I'm
Yeah.
just going to keep saying cliches until someone believes me.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And there is no I in team.
Well,
We are family. That's not even a cliche. It's just a song.
Now, very few guests of the show have ever made it when they do a little bit of research
Okay.
and watch an episode. They rarely make it to the end of the show. So you may not know what's expected of you now, which is called the Larry King game. Let me explain.
Okay.
It's how we end every show. We're big fans of Larry King, but specifically when he was on CNN, and right before he would go to the phones, he would stare down the barrel and talk to the world and share with them a little something about himself. So, I want you to reenact that moment as Larry, talking about Larry. This is not about Skylar. I want a bad Larry King impression. If you give me a good one out of the thin blue, I'm actually going to be pissed. So, by the way, don't feel pressure and stress. I want a bad one.
Great.
You can't
I'm making him Southern.
You can't fuck this up. Please make him Southern.
A bad Southern
Yeah,
accent at that.
good.
Okay.
So I want a bad Larry King impression. And then when you're ready, you'll stare down the barrel of that camera as Larry, share something about Larry that nobody knows, more importantly, nobody cares about.
Okay.
Larry would share minutia about himself as if it were important, and that's why it made us laugh. Then, lastly, you go to the phones. And if the name of the city is funny sounding, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to be bad if it's Schenectady or something.
Okay.
As funny. So, bad Larry King impression, Larry shares something about himself, go to the phones. Those are the 3 steps. Those are the 3 things. There's your camera. When you're ready, let her rip. No way to fuck this up.
Well, folks, this has been me, Larry King, letting all you know that these suspenders that I'm wearing right now, they're not even holding up my pants. I got a belt on. This is hooked right into the bottom of my shirt. And that's just a little fun fact for you guys to know about me, Larry King. A lot of people think I sit this way because it's comfortable. No. I'm actually got some hot nails going on underneath me. Don't know why they put them there, my crew. The Larry King crew, as it were. So we're gonna answer some calls. Here's one from Poughkeepsie, Tennessee. Nope, not the one in New York. Not the home of Vassar College.
No?
Poughkeepsie, Tennessee, caller, you're on.
And that's how you play the Larry King game.
Yeah.
Wow! See, look how intimidated and concerned and stressed, and then seconds later we get the best crossover of Ted Turner, the owner of CNN.
Well, that's what I was thinking old prospector, but no, it was totally Ted Turner. He knew exactly what
Oh
he was
yeah,
doing.
should have talked about the wrestling business.
That was spectacular. Thanks, man.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Let's do it again when we're promoting the late bloomer.
Nice. All right, sit there uncomfortably while I wrap things up for folks
Sure.
at home and around the Wildmanberg. Much thanks to Dr. Chen, who once again was first to arrive. I thank him for that. The Dooman and the McIntyre running the crow's nest. Samantha Ward had to run out of here. The makeup artist in the late bloomer as well. And the television show Angel from Hell. I'm never going to stop working with Samantha Ward. Natalie Rose, I want to congratulate you on your promotion. Good luck tomorrow, your first day as executive assistant to, well, a very wonderful man and talented first-time narrative director. Me. Also, Mom, happy birthday, Sam Levine, Jamie Levine. Wait.
No! No! Sorry.
No offense taken. I have a cousin named Jamie Levine. I'm sure she's thrilled for the
That's what I was thinking. Sam
Yeah.
Levine, Jamie Levine, and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
I don't know that Kenny Chen's ever laughed this hard. Me saying, but it wasn't from me saying Sammy Levine and Jamie Levine.
No,
it was
it was
from Jamie's
the
reaction to me calling Jamie Levine.
I love him
Yes.
like a brother.
Yeah.
But if we were dating,
Oh my.
I would kill myself
And
within
him.
a week.
What greater compliment is available?
Because I'm sure it's like his idiosyncrasies, I just would be like,
I'm sure he feels the same way. So, but he's polite enough not to say it.
Jamie, don't worry. I would have killed myself long
yeah,
before.
'cause exactly.
There it is. All right, next week, the great John Cryer. We'll see if he can add to the shenanigans. Then we'll take a week off. Sammy goes to KC and I go to Nebraska.
Nebraska. We're going to talk about that next week.
We'll talk about that next week because it's a little obnoxious and self-serving, and I've already done that enough.
Well, I'm going to talk about it for you
today. Thank you. But I do think that is it. I always forget someone, but I think we're okay. Again, Sean Casey, we'll bring it back into it. Yes, indeed. Why not? And the fine folks at New Tech for our genius TriCaster. Why not? We'll just throw them out there as well. Until next time, and as always, get out of my face.